name's Jordan, and today I'm going to be talking about books you should read on a beach. I have not seen any booktubers that recommends books you should read on a beach, so I decided to do it anyway because I don't know any other booktuber has done this. I've done like these kind of book recommendations like for a snowy day and a rainy day. I decided to do it what books you should read on a beach because it's summertime and I know many people like going to a beach and inside to enjoy the sun and read in front of the ocean, or like we have a lake in Chicago so we don't have an ocean, but anyway, let's get started. The first book I'm recommending is The Hobbit by J.R. Tolkien, or Lord of the Rings, which is over there. I think these would be a good beach read because not only they're classic fantasy, I just think they're would make a good beach read because I think I would love to escape to a fantasy world while you're being down on the heat at the beach. So yeah. The next book I'm recommending is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. This is a dystopian that is all about virtual reality, and they have pop culture references. I thought it would be also a good beach read because a lot of people are like, what's going to happen in the future, and they go to dystopian novels to see if that is a possibility, but I just love Ready Player One so much that I recommend this to anybody who wants to read it any time of the year. The next book that I have on my that I'm recommending you guys to read at the beach is Stayin' Charlotte by Brittany Cavallaro. I know Rocky from Blind with a Book, and I'll link her channel down below, has recommended this book to a lot of people and they started reading it because of it. I honestly wanted to read this before Rocky recommended to everybody because it's a Sherlock Holmes retelling, and I wanted to read it because it's a retelling of Sherlock Holmes, and I think this would be a good beach read because, like, I know some people prefer reading mysteries in the fall, but I think this would be a perfect beach read if you don't want to wait until the fall to read. The next book I'm recommending is Ink, Iron, and Glass by Gwendolyn Clare. I like this. I know I have a few issues with it, but I'm still recommending it to people because I love the world in this book and I love the characters. And I think if anybody loves historical fiction and fantasy all in one book, I think they should read this. Plus the cover is beautiful, and so is the back that says our best weapon is words. Yep, that's what I was gonna say. I almost forgot there. But anyways, I think it's a good read for anybody who's in the mood for historical fiction or fantasy or both. And the next book that I'm recommending is also a mystery book, is Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. I almost forgot who the author is. But like I said about A Stay in Charlotte, I think reading a mystery before fall hits us. I know it's still summer, but fall can hit us anytime in a couple of months, but I think it's a good would be a good beach read, especially if you don't want to read a long book. It's like 200 something pages long, 265. So if you want a quick read, you can read this at the beach. Another book that I'm recommending to you guys for a beach read is The Neverland Wars by Audrey Greathouse. I know this is a Peter Pan retelling, and you guys are probably know I'm a big Peter Pan fan, but this one's really different than any other ones that I've read other than Neverland. But this book is about of course it says the Neverland Wars, but parents are protecting their kids from Peter Pan because he's real in this one, and they lock the windows to make sure their kids don't run away, and there's war between Neverland and reality. And I'm reading a second book right now, which is The Piper's Price, and I'm loving it so far, and I'm like where I'm at. I'm like almost 100 pages left, so hopefully I'll finish this today. I filmed this video, so yeah, and I think you guys should read it because not only the cover is beautiful, like I pointed right here. You have some retellings to read at the beach besides the one I mentioned earlier, so yeah. The next beach read I'm recommending to you guys is The Princess Bride by William Goldman. I almost said the wrong title, but anyways, if you want to read a romance that's also fantasy, I think you should definitely read this at the beach, especially when I know many people are looking for romance, especially in the summertime. I think this would be a good romance read for that, and especially if you love fantasy, I would recommend The Princess Bride. The next book I'm going to be recommending is The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. I think this is also, I know I've said it a few times on this video that I think on the books that I picked are good reads. I think this one would be a good one if you're in a mood for dark fantasy. Again, like if you don't want to wait until fall time to read these kind of books, I think this would be a perfect one. Plus, this looks like a fairy tale book, and that's why I love the cover. I still think this would be a good read if you don't want to wait until fall, like I said in previous books. The next book I'm recommending to you guys is Caraval by Stephanie Gerber. Since the sequel that just came out, I think it will be a good beach read to catch up on the first book if you haven't read it yet and you want to read the sequel. I think this will be a perfect time to read at the beach. Plus, if you're also in the mood for fantasy with a mystery element to it, I think this would be a good beach read. The last book I'm going to be recommending to you guys to read at the beach is The Book Jumper by, I can't pronounce the author's last name or first name or her name. Anyways, this is one of the books that I definitely think is a worth beach read, because if you're a reader and you want to go into different favorite books that you loved in the past or in the present, this would be a perfect read for that. Plus, in this book you get to see them going to different classics, so if you love classics and you want to see people interact with those characters, this is a perfect book for that. So, yeah. So that's all for the books that I'm recommending to you guys to read at the beach. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up and comment down below some of the books that I should read at the beach, because I've been to a beach once, but I didn't get to read at the beach, or some summer reads that you have recommendations for me. If you want to follow me on social media, I have Facebook under Lost Reader, and I have Twitter and Instagram on LostReader19. I also have Goodreads, which I'll link down below. And if you don't want to miss any of my new videos, hit subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!